Hello, everyone. Good evening. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, February 5th. Doing this live video a little earlier than usual because of the Super Bowl. I know I'm going to watch the game, but I also will need to get ready with my presentation for Toronto. So hopefully some of you will come out there tomorrow night. Time really flies. Also want to plug my new podcast one more time. It's called Crypto Scam. Still too busy to update the blog. Maybe I'll do that this week. Already have the first 4 episodes out of Crypto Scam. So if you haven't watched those, definitely want to check them out. It's also on SoundCloud. I'm new to SoundCloud. Just created an account just for this blog. And there is an RSS feed. I've submitted it to iTunes. So we'll see if hopefully it gets accepted. And I'm not sure what that means, but everyone says, put it in iTunes. So I'm not a Mac user. I don't really use iTunes. All right, Toronto, over 400 people have signed up at the meetup at meetup.com. This is, I believe this is the biggest meetup in the world for Bitcoin. Definitely check it out. It's only $10 if you're near Toronto. It's going to be really, really good. I know I'm psyched for it, so it will be great. All right. I know at least one of our live viewers, Richie Rich, is going to be there. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for all your support, by the way. You've been a consistent follower of me. All right, guys, let's just jump right into the markets. This is going to be a shorter video than usual. This is my daily chart of the S&P 500. As you can see, we are back to being on the verge of all-time highs. I had flipped my position from a pullback to a straight-up bullish look. The moment I put this arrow in, we immediately had a small pullback. This pullback did not take us anywhere near the low at the very end of December, and it didn't even come to the 50-day moving average. And I don't know how the futures are looking for Monday because it's not 6 p.m. yet, but I don't really see anything here that's going to stop it from making a new all-time high Monday or Tuesday. Again, here's the weekly chart. These arrows have been here for about a week, maybe a little more, where I have removed my arrows for a pullback, and now I'm looking for this Fibonacci extension of 2334. There is one note of caution, however, in the Dow Jones, and this was my 913.9 sell signal that didn't really materialize into a pullback. We are going to have a 13 tomorrow, but I need to manually double check this index or check it against some other sources. I have not had time to update my code, so it's possible, it's a count or two off. A 9 followed by a 13 is an indication of selling, but you need a price flip. But I'm not going to get very, very technical. Let's just say this is an area of caution for me. All right, here's gold. I was looking for this pullback. I drew this arrow a little early. The pullback did start a few weeks later. It clearly didn't materialize. It didn't go as deep as I wanted it to. I had my exit set on this short trade, which I had at around the 50-day moving average. It just missed it, put in this reversal candle. I probably should have taken my profits right off of this daily reversal candle, but I was busy. I left my short trade, and this trade stopped me out in the break-even area, so not a big deal. We're back to pushing new highs. We actually made new highs, so this arrow is being deleted, and I can certainly see gold having a little bit more of an upside. So, I mean, I can see it going up. I don't know, 300 is definitely pushing it. but it can go to its 200-day moving average. Let's just change this arrow. We'll make it green and make this solid. I am not very confident in this arrow. I probably shouldn't even draw it that big. We can always extend it later. Gold will probably have a little more room to run. No, let me start closing some of these to free up my memory. And here's the weekly chart. You know what? I forgot to pull this up. Let me just open one more up real quick. Gold historical. So while that opens. Here is the gold weekly chart, and again, I also put this arrow in, thinking that, but this arrow's been here for a while. Actually, I think it's been here for a while. Someone can always, fact check me. I think it's been here for a little while. I'll probably move it over a little. Okay, this should be loaded. All right, let's slide this arrow over. So we'll probably hit one more Fibonacci level and get into that moving average cluster, and then we go down. Again, this giant trend line is here. Oh, trend line moved a little bit. We'll probably extend it all the way to there. I don't remember why I cut it short, or maybe it just slid over. But yeah, it's a major trend line. I mean, the bullish move in gold has, come and gone. Now you're on the scraps of it. If gold breaks out above like 1400, I'll take gold seriously. For now, I still see gold as a short. I'm not going to talk about this much at all. I spent a lot of time talking about this on the last video. Please go back to that. I spent a bunch of time putting this together. It's a long-term history of gold. And basically, we are over here, which to me is similar to this here back in 1983. And unless we break above this high of 1400, I'm not taking gold seriously and looking for lower lows. And it's very possible gold will go down for a long time, but possible. Oh, it looks like I took the S&P 500 out, so let me put the S&P 500 back in. There it is. There's the S&P 500 in the background, showing you how significantly better the S&P 500 has been historically, because they were at exactly the same price back in 1976. It was a 1-to-1 ratio, and stock market has greatly outperformed. And this is not even a dividend reinvested stock market. This is just a straight up no dividend reinvesting. Dividend reinvesting were way off the scale. All right. So please go back to the video number 30, Tones market analysis number 30 for that. Here's oil. I've been talking about this, stability with oil prices going nowhere, putting everybody to sleep. We put in a nice bullish week last week, and I still have the bullish trade on oil. I can't daily chart in a while, but I'm still long oil on this trade, and I'm still expecting a pop, and then we go down. All right, so I can start closing. All right, look at currencies. The dollar continues to weaken. I'm getting a lot of comments. People are very, very upset. It's like I guess too many people have Bitcoin, too many people have gold, too many people are invested in the crash in the stock market and the crash of the US dollar, which is silly, completely silly. Because a crash in the US dollar would be very bullish for the stock market, because inflation would cause the stock prices to rise, just like inflation would cause the prices of many things to rise, including the stock market. So though that's not an inverse relationship. And people are saying, oh, the dollar is going to crash, the dollar is going to crash. And meanwhile, the dollar hit a 10-year high just a month ago. So I don't understand where people are getting this insane idea that the US dollar is on the verge of some kind of a catastrophic collapse. This is just a minor little pullback. So what if it comes down to the 50-day moving average in like the 97, 95 area? Like it's completely irrelevant in this 20-year view of the dollar. So I'll need to maybe adjust this arrow a little bit. Maybe there'll be a little more downside in the dollar, which is the only reason why gold's going up. And that's going to change real soon. So yeah, I mean, we broke this Fibonacci. We kind of split this Fibonacci. And so we'll bounce a little bit. Once we break out, it's open air. Just like I was saying in Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin broke above 760, like I was saying, it's a straight shot to all-time highs of 1150. There was just nothing, no resistance, nothing stopping it. Once the dollar has its little pullback, it comes back to like 103. There was no resistance here. There was absolutely nothing. There was this little dip right here in the early 2000s, but there were so many issues in the early 2000s with the dot-com crash and 9/11 and going to war. There were a lot of issues in the economy. And yes, the dollar fell. The stock market fell for a few years, but when the stock market recovered, the dollar kept falling. And then as of 2008, the dollar started to strengthen. Yeah, so I expect the dollar to go up. All right, I'm spending way too much time on the dollar. So again, as the dollar has a little pullback, the euro has some life. Again, as the dollar hits its 50-week moving average, the euro might hit its 50-week moving average, and then the trends are going to reverse. British pound is in its own little world because of the whole Brexit situation. People over panicked. So that's why I believe the pound is oversold. This is why I am looking at a short of, I really like this reverse, sorry, not reverse. I really like this head and shoulders where the euro would depreciate against the pound. I tried taking this trade on. It did not work for me. Again, currency trading is not my specialty. Just pattern and chart recognition is, and economics. But trading, a lot of trading is all about timing. So it looks like it was following, but if we might open right outside. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. I drew this way prematurely, so this right shoulder can definitely adjust. You're not even supposed to draw the right shoulder until you cross the neckline, but I drew it early. We'll see what happens. Let me take a look at Canadian dollars, only because I'll be there tomorrow and I got to exchange currency, so I know when I'm being ripped off and when I'm not being ripped off. The daily chart has absolutely no patterns in it. If you look at the weekly of Canada, yeah, but again, the dollar is pulling back. Would have been nice to see the Canadian dollar in the 1.4 range versus the US dollar, but it's in the 1.3. It's exactly 1.3. So now I know what exchange rate to get. And for those of you that travel, I mean, I always check the rate at the airport, and I was always positive that the airport will give you like the worst possible rate. That's not true in several countries. I believe one of the countries is Morocco, where the best rate you're going to get is at the airport, not on the street. In my experience, the euro has an unreasonably high spread at the airport, but on the street it's fine. So with Canadian dollars, I believe it's better to exchange on the street. And I don't mean like, shady people on the street. I mean, you go into a coin exchange, legitimate shop on a main street, somewhere. All right, so here we go. Here's Bitcoin. Again, let me close some of these currencies, free up my room. Here's Bitcoin. Here's this week's candle. It was a very, very bullish candle. I know we are now down to 110 to $1,010, and I think we hit like 1,044 just yesterday. But if you look at a weekly chart, it's insanely bullish. Like it's hard to even. Ooh, what if I just extend this trend line? Man, that's going to end nicely one day. We will hit it sooner or later. So that's a pretty damn steep trend line. I already have it up to like 3,500. Need SegWit. Need SegWit. Definitely need SegWit. Some speculation for SegWit would help, but yeah, no, this trend line is very unreasonable. Don't expect that. All right, here's my daily forecast chart. This is the one I use at my conferences. And in the channel, staying in the channel, came up short of the top of the range. But that would have been a new all-time high at 1,300, so I'm not surprised. I really wanted to hit the top of this range earlier so that we're not breaking the all-time high at the end of a run. This panic was unwarranted, and back in the channel. So this is going to be an interesting situation here with the RSI, right? Because if we reverse right here, the RSI would confirm a pullback. So will the MACD. If we make a new high, the RSI might come up short, which would create divergence. So we'll just be mindful of the situation. Here's Bitfinex, and this is kind of interesting. So last time I did this video, I drew this very, very steep channel. So I drew this channel like in this area here, around, if you look at the date at the bottom of the screen, it's February 2nd. And it was nice. And then right at the end of this channel, I published this on TradingView. And I'm like, hey, it stayed in my channel. And like, I go to sleep, and then like an hour later, it falls out of the channel. But yesterday, I drew this purple channel. And the purple channel was connecting the high of January with the high of late January. And I used these lows here around the 16th, the middle of January as well. Oh, these are hourly charts. So everything is like January mostly. And I thought we had hit the bottom of the channel right here, or came close to it. And I thought we hit the top of the channel here, but then we came back and hit the top of this channel. I actually saw this hit of the channel 10 minutes ago when I opened up this chart, because this channel, I mean, no one, hindsight, right? It doesn't really matter. Through this channel yesterday just for myself, and then boom, hit the top of this channel today. I don't actively trade Bitcoin, so this meant nothing to me. Would have been cool had I tweeted it out. And that's about it. I mean, again, if we go back to the bottom of the channel, we go back to like 950, not really a big deal. Not that big a deal, as long as we stay in it. All right, so here's the other chart, my last chart of the day, and then I'll be done with this video in about 20-25 minutes. I published this on TradingView. This was pretty cool. I'll probably use it in my presentation tomorrow in Toronto, where I just took a look, and it's just a repeating pattern. So we had this, and yeah, this is published on TradingView. On TradingView, I'm tone_LLT. I learned that TradingView is a very immutable blockchain, where I can't even change my username, which is unfortunate. I would love to change it to Tone-based. And also, once you publish something, you only have like maybe 10 to 15 minutes to edit what you publish, and then it's there forever. They really don't let you change it because they don't want like people publishing trading ideas and then retroactively changing what they say or changing the graph, which is very, very understandable. I mean, I wouldn't respect them if they didn't. So clearly, TradingView is more immutable than Ethereum or Steemit, and I like that. And all right, so we had this. So we came up quickly, created a high, bounced back, hit this high a couple of times, finally broke out of this high, and made a new high, and then again you hit it a couple of times, you eventually break out and quickly make a new high again. And then each time you pull back to the previous high. Like here, you can't really see it, but there's a wick, and it hits it flat on at 475. You have to be quick to take that trade, but you could have. Same thing here. This is why I tweeted out back when the price was falling and it was still at 900 that 760 is a perfect buy because 760 was a previous high. Came down, touched 760, went back up, and I think we're going back to this line. Probably going to bounce our head on the all-time highs for a little bit. But once we break out, we're going to break out quick, which would be good. And I still haven't backed away from my 2,000 price target by mid-August. All right, guys, on that note, I'm done. I'll take a few questions, maybe 5 minutes worth, and then we'll cut this video in under 30 minutes. All right, let's see what we got from the live viewers. Reading over the chat here, so it's not dead air right now. Oh, you know what? Let me check if I am using the new mic because I was messing around with my settings. Oh, that's unfortunate. That explains the bad sound quality at on our last podcast with Thomas Hunt because I was messing with my settings because I thought I had the problem when in reality it wasn't me. And I reset my mic to the default mic, so I apologize, guys. This video would have definitely had terrible sound quality, and right now you're probably hearing it much, much better. I mean, the new mic was on my desk, but it wasn't set as the default mic in it. So yeah, so I mean, again, another reason why I do these live, you guys, point these things out in the beginning, right? Like I had no idea what sound I had it set to. So that's unfortunate, and that explains the loud noise during the Bitcoin group this past Friday. I was wondering what happened. I was trying to figure out why was it so different than the previous month of usage. Yeah, so the mic I'm using is the Yeti, but it's a big desktop mic. I traveled with it to Miami to do podcasting. It's not really ideal. It's definitely not ideal to travel with. But if you look up Blue Yeti, that would be that's the microphone I have. It normally retails for about 120 or something, but on Black Friday I was able to pick it up for like $85. Oh man, so I'm asking a question about wallets, and so the person asking about wallets, and then they ask, is mycelium okay to use? That's exactly how I would phrase it. Mycelium is okay to use. That's as far as I would go. When people ask me what wallet I recommend on your phone, I recommend Airbits. That's been the wallet I've been using 95% of the time. Thank you. I got complimented on the Crypto Scam podcast. You know what? It's not that easy to use headphones and hear yourself. I don't think it works like that unless you have a soundboard, which I am in the process of getting. All right, so let's take another question. All the spikes in Bitcoin have dropped to previous high after going sideways for a month or so. In January, yeah, that's exactly what you see on my chart. And that's exactly what I just said. So do I think we're going to drop to the previous high? Well, that's the thing. We already did drop to the previous high. The fall on January 10th and 11th was a fall from 1150 down to 760, which is why I was calling for 760 the perfect buy, because it had dropped to the previous high. So there's no reason to drop to 760 again. In fact, if we drop to 760 again, I'm going to get very, very nervous. I'll start getting nervous if we drop below 915. 915 is my support at this point. We drop below 915, I'm going to start getting nervous thinking that there's more downside. So as long as we stay above 915, we're in the clear. Blockchain.info wallet is no good. I don't like it. I haven't used blockchain.info wallet in 2 to 3 years. And I had reasons to stop using it because it failed me several times. And so I have no interest in going back to it. I'm sure it's better now than it was a few years ago, but I was unhappy with it. So I don't use it. I never have after that. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to call it a night. One more question. What do I think about the article on Roger Ver on CoinDesk? I have not read that article. To be honest with you guys, I don't read CoinDesk anymore. I don't find their articles to be all that good. In fact, I don't find any articles from any publication in the crypto space good. I used to read Cointelegraph. I used to write for Cointelegraph. I mean, Brave New Coin puts out decent stuff. And I used to read CoinDesk religiously, and I only read CoinDesk articles when I have a reason to read a specific article. Every time I read it, I'm just like mad that I read it. I'm not happy with their work at all. And what's left? Bitcoin.com. Find them very biased towards Bitcoin Unlimited, which I disagree with. Bitcoin is still around. Crypto Coins News, I was never a big fan. There's really nothing. There are no good publications. There just aren't. Bitcoin Magazine, I'll occasionally read an article. Coin Idol is new. Coin Journal is new. I know people at both of those publications. I mean, they reach out to me for comments, so I'm quoted in a bunch of them every now and then. But I really, I'm a bit disappointed in the quality. But you know what? You get what you pay for, and that's what happens, right? I mean, these things aren't all that profitable. I don't expect them to be great. You want great work. You want people that do it out of passion and not, just for like clickbait and getting paid on that. So, so I've been disappointed with journalism in the Bitcoin space for all, but I've been disappointed with journalism in the world, period, right? It's not like I'm picking on the crypto space. I mean, the mainstream media journalism is just as bad, or worse. Worse, or am I saying just as bad? It's worse. And I mean, again, you want good journalism? Go to WikiLeaks. Right? I mean, that's the only real journalism we got these days. No, blockchain.info does not send you private key to your email anymore. That was one of the stupider things a Bitcoin company has ever done, and a lot of people got hacked on that. But I'm certain that they stopped that practice years ago. That was bad. No, I didn't bet on this game. I'll be rooting for the Patriots. I want the Patriots to win. I don't care for Atlanta. So sometimes I want to see great teams, make history. Sometimes I root for the underdog. But in this case, I like the Patriots. I like the fact that it's not the same team. It's literally just one player for its 5th Super Bowl. and everyone else is different than the first Super Bowl they won. It's pretty much just Brady and Gronkowski that's been there for like more than like 5 or 6 years. So I like it. I like watching them play. I like watching offense. I'm not that big on defense. So I think the Patriots will win. I expect them to win. Are they going to win by 3 points? I don't know. Super Bowls have been close, but I'm going to enjoy the game. All right, guys. On that note, I will sign off. Messed up the audio quality the last 1.9 podcasts, but going forward, I'll be mindful of it. I almost never make the same mistake twice. All right, and bye-bye.